So as you can see that there's that hamburger icon, so it's not doing anything for now. So let's make it work. We're gonna draw a drawer here. So outside the app bar, there is an option inside the scaffold to add a drawer, and the drawer takes a widget. I'm gonna use drawer, and for the child, I'm just gonna create a new file of widgets. So I'm gonna name it site drawer, and I'm gonna make it a stateless widget. And I'm gonna extend it or import material, make a column here because we want it to be aligned in vertical order, add some children's. So as we have discussed already, like there is either a flat button or a raise button. Let's use the flat button with icon. So that takes on pressed, like the click listener, and it takes a label as well. So in the child, I'm gonna use an icon, not icon button, and inside that, I'm gonna use icons dot, let's use shop, and in the label, I'm gonna add a text widget. Let's say shop. Why is it giving error? I think that has been done wrong. Wait. So the click listener is empty, and previously we were using child, but actually we need to use icon, and an icon takes icons dot, let's use home here, and I'm gonna make it home, and I think it would be great if we add some background design with that. So I'm gonna use container on the top, and container has a height of, let's say, 200, and the color is, so what we have defined in that main dart, we can access that primary swatch color by accessing the theme. So I'm gonna use theme of context. It takes a build context, and from there I access the primary color. So whatever color we have defined in main dot dot, it's gonna take that, and I'm gonna add a new package called widgets, and later on we're gonna move the login part in widgets folder as well by creating a separate widget, because we don't need every widget to be stateful. It's better to have as many stateless, so like it's not a burden on the memory. And I'm gonna add a child called text, and the text can be welcome, let's say, and we're gonna add a styling, and the style, sorry, the style requires TextStyle kind of object, and in TextStyle I'm gonna use the font weight. The font weight should be font weight dot bold, and let's change the color as well. So colors dot white, and now as we can see there's an error, so let's use that class here, site drawer, and we can see like it's imported, but it's better like to follow the naming conventions here. So we've added site drawer, and it's showing me an error. Where's the error? Yeah, we don't need to add the semicolon. So let's try running it now. And it's running, I believe. Yeah. And it's not working is because we have already defined a leading icon here, and Dart is, or Flutter framework is confusing that. If we've already defined it, we need to add either a listener, we need to handle the listener of that, but since we do not need that and we want Flutter to use its own framework, so if I'm gonna run it again, you can see that I removed the drawer icon, the leading icon, from the app bar, but uh, it's still visible here. The reason why, because now the drawer is using this as a default icon. So now if I'm gonna click that, it's gonna open the drawer, and if I'm gonna click outside, it's gonna close. But yeah, there are a few things like that doesn't look much good, and we need to handle them. And the first thing is like this text thing. You can see the welcome text on top of the height, but it doesn't look that good. I want it to cover the whole drawer. So let's try adding the width, and I'm gonna make it double dot max. Oh, sorry, max finite. Let's try running it. And now you can see like it's blue filled everywhere, but the welcome icon, the welcome text is on the top left. So let's try something like alignment, and uh, let's use alignment dot center. Run it again, and you can see now it's in the center. Uh, let's try to increase the size of that text. So I'm gonna see like how can we increase the size, font size, and make it 30. It's a bit bigger, but not enough. Let's make it 50. Yeah, now it looks quite better, but the home icons are really small. So I'm gonna do the same with that. And just copy this TextStyle and add them here, but I think 50 would be too much. And now the color is white. I don't want it to be white. I just remove that. Home, and yeah, but it doesn't look that good. So what we can do here to make it good, see by default the flat button is aligned on the center. So let's remove the flat button here, and we're gonna use a list tile. A list tile has a leading icon that can be an icon or any widget. it must be on the left side. So I'm just gonna replace leading with an icon, and I'm gonna use const.home here. Then I'm gonna add a title, and the title takes a text, and I'm gonna make it home, and I'm gonna add some styling. So the text style here is just change the font size should be 30, and font weight, and the font weight, let's make it bold, and let's try running it. Now you can see that it looks quite better, but still like the icon is gray. You can do different experiments on that, whether we can add some tint. So let's try to change the color of this icon. Colors dot black, run. It looks black now, but and let's see if we can change the size. Yes, we can. So the size can be double, so just match it with the font size. It's a bit bigger, but yeah, it's looking quite better now. And we need to mark a line, so there's a divider element we can add, which will draw a line. You can see it's visible, but the color is not that good. It's like gray, so it might not be like clearly visible to some of you. So I'm gonna just change the color to green, let's say. Yeah, it's still visible, but it's very thin. So see if we can change the height. Let's give it a height of 10. 20, let's say. Oh, actually, it's measuring the distance. So there must be another element. Let's try this thickness and mark it 30. Oh, it's too thick now. So make it 10. Still too thick. Make it 5. And I don't like it that much. Yeah, this looks a bit better. Obviously, like this doesn't make a good color combination, but just to teach you how it's working. And now I want to add multiple elements. So instead of copying and pasting this over and over again, why not we add this into a new method called build list item, let's say, that returns a widget. And because we want the color and the text to be changed every time, so we're gonna pass a string that is name, and we're gonna pass an icon data that contains an icon. So this will return a list style, and because we don't want divider at the end, so we're gonna add dividers here. So now I'm gonna call this function, and I'm gonna change the name to home, and the icon is icons dot home, let's say. And yes, we need to replace that with icon. So it's going to take that, and we need to replace the home with name. And let's add multiple elements here. Home, shop, and logout icons. There's an exit icon, exit to app. Yeah. And I don't like green color on all sides, so I'm gonna change the screen to, let's say, black, and I'm gonna replace this with blue gray. Oh, I don't want a divider after logout, so let's replace it. And yeah, it still can be improved. The design doesn't look that good, but you have learned how to make a list style. You can improve the designs your way. So this is all for now. We have learned how to open a drawer, how to add a list widgets, how to create a different function to reuse one thing over and over again.